It is day 218 of the second Trump administration. I am glad to be back because we got some news tonight. The president says he is removing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Tonight, he sent her a dismissal letter, writing in part the following. There is sufficient reason to believe you may have made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements. In light of your deceitful and potentially criminal conduct in a financial matter, they cannot, and I do not, have such confidence in your integrity. At a minimum, the conduct at issue exhibits the sort of gross negligence in financial transactions that calls into question your competence and trustworthiness as a financial regulator. End quote. Neither Cook nor the Federal Reserve has responded yet. We got to dig into this. Joining me now, Rohit Chopra, former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and former member of the Federal Trade Commission during Trump's first administration. Rohit, I'm so glad you could join us tonight. For people who do not follow financial news day in, day out, I want to break this down in several buckets, but let's start with how serious is this for the economy? Because the independence of the Federal Reserve, which has existed for 112 years, is a crucial part of our economy. It is why so many countries invest in us. They trust that independence.
Well, there's a lot of crazy news every day, but this one is big and we got to pay attention. So the Federal Reserve, they basically set the price and supply of money. They make sure that we don't run into financial crises and that the system is stable. But after months and months of trolling Jay Powell, trying to edge him out, now President Trump is trying to fire Lisa Cook, one of those Federal Reserve governors. This is an attempt to turn these financial watchdogs, who are supposed to be independent, right into obedient lapdogs who will really do as they are told. This could have an impact on how the world perceives the dollar, our ability to borrow, and so much more. And you know what? If he is able to succeed in firing Lisa Cook, this is basically legally identical to him firing any other member of that board, including the chairman.
Well, let's talk about the claim that he's making, okay? This all started with a criminal referral from Bill Pulte. That is the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency. Pulte says that she listed two of her mortgages as primary residence and alleges fraud. But she is not charged with any crime. However, where this is important for the Fed board members can only be fired for cause. So does this seem sufficient to you, for cause?
Well, this is quite something. So 6 months ago, President Trump fired me as the head of the CFPB. That was legal. The Supreme Court said he could do so. But the court also drew some real lines when it came to safeguarding the Fed. And I think this is going to be a big legal challenge. Look, we can't really know anything about this allegation. They put it in a tweet with a screenshot with really no paperwork, and it's just sort of fluttering around. This is clearly part of a pattern of targeting certain individuals. That same person who's tweeting about Lisa Cook was also doing the same about Adam Schiff, Tish James, other people who are clearly gotten on the wrong side of the White House. So if they are able to use this to push more people out and to fire those regulators, it is simply handing the keys over to loyalists rather than actual law enforcers and regulators.
Lisa Cook is the first black woman to serve on the Fed board. She went through a very tough nomination process to get through to begin with. What do you know about her?
Well, she's really somebody who's devoted her life to the field of economics, but looking at how it really affects people. She's done tremendous academic work. She has served in government before. And the truth is, she is someone that the markets perceive is pretty aligned with Jay Powell and maybe even considered dovish. By dovish, I mean something that the president would maybe even like. So this is really about control. This is about obedience, and it follows a long line of other actions: firing FTC commissioners, firing other inspectors general. And I think it is something that financial markets, maybe they'll shrug, but this will have consequences.
Rohit, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. Tonight, we are also tracking the president's escalating federal takeover of the nation's capital. Some National Guard troops on patrol in Washington are now carrying firearms after a directive from the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. The White House also released an executive order that creates specialized Guard units to put down civil disturbances in each state and seeks civilian volunteers to assist federal agents in D.C. It comes as Trump toys with expanding his so-called anti-crime crackdown to other cities like Baltimore and Chicago. My colleague Garrett Haake has those details.
Tonight, National Guard soldiers deployed by President Trump to crack down on crime in Washington, D.C. are now armed following a new Pentagon order, as the president floats the possibility of extending federal deployments to other U.S. cities, including Chicago.
We may wait, we may or may not. We may just go in and do it, which is probably what we should do. They need help badly. Chicago desperately needs help.
But late today, this from Chicago's Democratic mayor, who notes the city's murder rate is down 32% from last year.
This stunt that this president is attempting to execute is not real. It doesn't help drive us towards a more safe, affordable big city.
And Illinois Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker posting this video along Lake Michigan.
And we got a lot of people running, having a great time.
Insisting the city does not need assistance from federal law enforcement.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here.
But so far this year, the city is still averaging over one killing a day. Just this weekend, there were 3 homicides and 27 people were shot.
We still have a problem. We have a problem with illegal guns. We have a high murder rate. We need help with that. If Trump really wants to help, what he can do is give us a federal Homeland Security grant so we can hire more police officers.
While the president is pushing back on Democratic criticism, he's behaving like a dictator.
A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense and I'm a smart person. And when I see what's happening to our cities, and then you send in troops, instead of being praised, they're saying you're trying to take over the republic.
With that, let's get smarter with the help of our leadoff panel tonight. Luke Broadwater is here, Pulitzer Prize-winning White House correspondent for The New York Times. Susan Glasser, staff writer for The New Yorker. And David Drucker, senior writer at The Dispatch. Madame Glasser, let's start with you. Put into context, given what we saw last week with John Bolton, the threats we heard today against Chris Christie and some of former President Biden's aides, what are we looking at here?
Well, look, John Bolton was one of many people who predicted what he called a retribution presidency. Donald Trump was one of the other people who predicted a retribution presidency. He wasn't hiding this agenda stuff. He was very clear on the campaign trail in 2024. And since he's returned to office, he is all about revenge, retribution. And what strikes me is that he is feeling, enough of a power rush that he's not really even trying to hide this agenda at this point anymore, nor are many of his advisors. Kash Patel, his FBI director, swore under oath during his confirmation hearing in January, oh, no, we don't have an enemies list. Oh, no, I would never, ever allow the FBI to be used as a target of retribution. And here we are just a few months later, and Chris Christie says something that Donald Trump doesn't like on television, and Trump immediately responds, he should be investigated using the powers of the federal Justice Department. And again, he's blatant about the linkage in a way that I think is concerning, especially at a moment when he is seeking to essentially militarize America's cities. This notion, a new executive order today says that he's going to call out troops or use the National Guard to quell disturbances that do not exist. I am a resident of the District of Columbia. There is no civil disturbance in the District of Columbia. And you have to wonder, is there any institution left that can put a meaningful legal check on Donald Trump tonight?